I mean, I was talking about the totality of all of it. I knew that, and I had been working with Dangote, whose projection date was more in the mid-2020s initially, but he's been able to scale that backwards towards the first quarter of 2020. And I was actually pushing him to bring it into the last quarter of 2019. My attitude was that if you got 650,000 barrels refinery performing, even if it's at 50 or 60% capacity, if you had a 450,000 cumulative refineries performing, and even if it's at 80% capacity, you'd probably be processing something in the neighborhood of over 1 million barrels. That's basically outstrip our consumption and get us into an export zone. So those were the sort of analysis. I didn't quite frankly take into cognizance even the modular refineries that we later came up because of sensitivities in Niger Delta, because, I mean, modular refineries, 2,000, 3,000, maybe 5,000 barrels performance. So that's not going to dramatically impact on the product supply as it is.
We are looking at about 10 modular refineries coming up, and you're talking
about
looking at 10. Them being at each of the states in the Niger Delta.
Yes.
How far have that gone?
2 are basically structured to deliver hopefully by the end of this year, early next year. They began construction. They brought in the equipment. Some of the refineries have been fabricated and on way here. The remaining 8, about half of those are the fabrication process. Others are still going through a process, but 10 are probably the ones we're looking at and see for everything that we see in terms of investor funds, in terms of shareholder entrepreneurial infusion. There is a likelihood that they will come on stream.
But the concern will be about the impact on the environment.
Which is that refineries?
Yes. Is that taken into cognizance as well?
No, I don't get it. Refinery environment, how?
The environment. So far, if you go down to the Niger Delta, you have people who are doing illegal refining, and then the military go there to burn and all of that. It affects the environment negatively.
No,
by the time these refineries,
yes.
By the time the refineries are set up, how much of impact would they have on the environment? Would it be positive or negative?
Well, refineries should be a plus. I mean, non-refineries mean that you're basically doing bush burning, which is what they call illegal refining. You're basically producing behind your backyard, which is what is causing all the sluice you're seeing in Port Harcourt and the sluice on water. Yeah. If you're doing a fully mechanized, fully processed, fully integrated, and indeed tested for the efficiency metrics, you should have a refinery that is friendly. Indeed, modern refineries are even better. Sulfur contents are much better. We're actually trying to upgrade our own refineries in the process of rekit now to improve even on their sulfur contents.
I asked this question because where the Lime Petrochemical, where the refinery is in Port Harcourt, thereabout, the communities there have had at one time or the other to protest about the impact of their activities there on their community. So I'm asking this because those who will be hosting this refineries that are coming up now will be looking to see how much of benefits they are going to get from it on their environment as well and on them as individuals.
Let me get there first. In terms of benefits they're going to get, I'd love to see them be the main contractors who do the day-to-day supplies in those refineries. I think we need to do that for those communities to cushion the impact of what they feel by virtue of the presence of such huge establishments. I think we need to take very seriously the environmental impacts. We do environmental impact studies, but I think Ministry of Environment is doing quite a good job in terms of now focusing on some of these specifics. The organic cleanup is one of those that we're working on. It's required us putting money from private sector and from public sector to put together the 1 billion fund, which we need to begin to release now, for this process to take place. We're looking at that same structure in other areas. I've worked with the Shell organization very intensively on some of the concerns in Ogoni, including our national headquarters, and I'm happy that over the last few days they've now come up for the very first time to say, look, we think what we did in Niger Delta is not in line with what we've done with the rest of the world, and we're sorry for that. That's taken 1 year, 1.5 years of working internally with the system to say you need to move from this model to that model. So it is something that we take seriously. It costs money, and so we need to begin to look as you do oil exploration. And I think oil exploration does a lot more impact than, quite frankly, oil refining. But as you do oil exploration, what are the oil companies putting aside?
I was going to ask you a question about the oil companies and this issue of casualization of workers in the IOCs, but we'll look at that when we come back from this break.
Okay. Join us again.